Imagine waking up 40,000 years ago. No alarm clock, no bed, no bathroom, no breakfast waiting in the kitchen, no phone to check, and honestly, no kitchen either. Your day begins with cold air, smoke from last night's fire, and the gentle reminder that almost everything outside is either sharp, hungry, frozen, poisonous, or faster than you. Welcome to a normal day for ancient humans. And no, it was not just people running dramatically with spears, while mammoths politely waited to be hunted. Real life was slower, messier, more dangerous, and somehow much smarter than we often imagine. Because ancient humans did not survive by being the strongest creatures on Earth. They survived by noticing things, remembering things, sharing things, and making very small decisions that could mean the difference between we eat tonight and, well, that was a short documentary. Morning probably did not begin at a fixed time. There was no clock. The sun was the clock. The temperature was the alarm. And if the fire had gone out during the night, congratulations. Your first task of the day was panic. But make it prehistoric. Fire was not just decoration. It gave warmth, it gave light, it helped keep predators away, and it changed food. The Smithsonian Human Origins Program notes that controlled fire was being used by early humans hundreds of thousands of years ago, with some hearth evidence at least around 790,000 years old. That means long before anyone argued about breakfast cereal, humans were already learning that cooked food could be safer, softer, and easier to digest. So the first job in the morning might be protecting the fire, adding wood, moving embers, checking if anyone accidentally slept too close to the smoke and woke up smelling like a roasted sock. Then came food, and food was not guaranteed. There was no fridge, no delivery app, no 5-minute snack. If you wanted breakfast, you had to know the land. Ancient humans watched animal tracks. They knew which plants appeared in which season. They remembered where water could be found. They understood smells, sounds, weather, and tiny changes in the ground. Basically, their search history was written in mud. A footprint might tell them an animal passed recently. Broken branches could show direction. Fresh droppings could mean food was nearby. Or danger. Sometimes both. Because nature has always enjoyed terrible customer service. But hunting was only part of the story. The idea that ancient humans spent the whole day chasing giant animals is too simple. Gathering mattered too. Roots, tubers, berries, nuts, seeds, honey, eggs, shellfish near coasts, small animals when possible. Food depended on where the group lived, the season, and what they knew how to find. In many hunter-gatherer societies studied by anthropologists, gathering could provide a major part of the diet. So a normal day was probably not just big, heroic hunt. It was also people scanning bushes, digging roots, cracking nuts, checking traps, carrying food, and trying not to eat the one berry that turns your stomach into a dramatic tragedy. Tools made all of this possible. Stone tools are among the strongest evidence we have for ancient behavior, because stone survives long after wood, skin, and plant fibers disappear. According to the Smithsonian, early humans were making stone tools by at least 2.6 million years ago. At first, these tools were simple. Hammerstones, stone cores, sharp flakes. But simple does not mean stupid. A sharp stone flake could cut meat, scrape hide, shape wood, break bones, prepare plants. Basically, one small stone could do the work of an entire modern kitchen drawer, except it did not have a brand name and nobody tried to sell it on a lifestyle podcast. Later, toolkits became more specialized. Points could be attached to shafts. Scrapers helped prepare hides. Awls could pierce materials. Bone and ivory needles later helped humans sew warmer clothing. And clothing mattered a lot. If you live in a cold environment, just be tough is not a survival strategy.
That is how you become an archaeology lesson. Ancient humans needed animal skins, stitching, shelter, and fire. They needed to solve the cold with technology.
Not technology like phones. Technology like, can we wrap dead animal skin around ourselves in a way that does not fall off every 8 steps? And honestly, that is still engineering. By midday, the group might split into tasks. Some people searched for plants. Some repaired tools. Some watched children. Some tracked animals. Some gathered wood. Some prepared hides. Some carried water. A day was not built around one hero. It was built around a group. This is important. Ancient humans were social. They had to be. One person alone could miss tracks, freeze faster, sleep less safely, get injured and have nobody help. A group could share food, share warnings, share skills, share fire, share memory, and also probably share complaints. Because if humans today complain about traffic, ancient humans definitely complained about walking 10 kilometers to find water. The difference is their complaint had wolves in the background. Children were also part of daily life. They were not sitting in prehistoric classrooms learning mammoth studies, period 2. They learned by watching, by copying, by playing, by listening. A child might watch an adult shape stone, carry small pieces of wood, learn animal tracks, recognize plants, hear stories by the fire, and slowly absorb the invisible library of the group. This matters because survival knowledge was not stored in books. It was stored in people. If an elder remembered where water stayed during a dry season, that memory could save lives. If someone knew which plant helped with a wound, that knowledge mattered. If someone remembered where herds pashed last year, the group had a better chance. Ancient humans did not just live in the landscape, they read it. And the landscape was not always friendly. Afternoon could bring movement. Many ancient groups were mobile. They followed food, seasons, animals, and water. Shelters could be temporary, a cave, a windbreak, a hut made from branches, bones, hides, or whatever the environment allowed. Not every ancient human lived in a cave. Caves are simply good at preserving evidence, which makes archaeologists very happy. But humans also lived in open-air camps, near rivers, near coastlines, on plains, in forests, wherever survival made sense. And moving camp was not like packing for vacation. There were no suitcases, no rolling bags, no, I think I overpacked. Everything useful had to be carried, worn, or recreated. If a tool broke, you repaired it. If a shelter failed, you fixed it. If the weather changed, you adapted. And if you forgot something important, there was no store. There was only regret. Hunting, when it happened, required patience and planning. By at least 500,000 years ago, early humans were making wooden spears, according to Smithsonian evidence from sites like Schöningen in Germany. That tells us hunting could involve serious tools and coordination. But ancient hunting was risky. Large animals were not vending machines made of meat. They were dangerous. Fast animals could escape. Big animals could injure or kill. Even smaller animals could be difficult to catch. So ancient hunters used tracking, group movement, traps, ambushes, landscape knowledge. Sometimes they scavenged. Sometimes they hunted. Sometimes they failed. And failure was normal. A modern person misses one meal and becomes emotionally complicated. Ancient humans could spend hours searching and return with very little. This is why cooperation mattered so much. One successful find could feed many. One person's knowledge could help the whole group. One mistake could cost everyone. Food processing took time, too. Meat had to be cut, bones cracked for marrow, hides cleaned,
Plants sorted, seeds crushed, wood gathered, tools sharpened. Nothing came prepackaged. Even dinner had a side quest. Evening was not just sleep. Evening may have been one of the most human parts of the day. Around fire, people could warm themselves, cook, repair tools, share food, watch children, tell stories, teach, plan, maybe sing, maybe joke, maybe argue about who forgot to collect enough wood, because some things are eternal. Archaeology also shows that ancient humans were not only practical. They made art. They used symbols. They decorated objects. They created meaning.
Cave art from places like Chauvet and Lascaux in France shows that Ice Age humans represented animals, signs, and patterns in powerful ways. This was not primitive doodling. It was communication, memory, identity, imagination.
Night brought danger again. Darkness changed everything. Predators, cold, fire, and lighter sleep. A day in ancient human life was difficult, but not random chaos. They worked, learned, shared, imagined, survived. And eventually, because they kept solving one day after another, we are here.
So, see you in the next video. Bye!